Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at the next video in my lifestyle focus series, where we look at the different lifestyle trees in CK3 and explore the perks and the lifestyle traits within them. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Intrigue Tree. This is the tree to do with deception, to do with seduction, and to do with torture and dread. Thank you very much for checking out the video. If you enjoy it, please leave a like and or subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. And without further ado, let's get into the lifestyle perks. Here we are on the Intrigue lifestyle tree. So we'll start by taking a look at the focuses, which are the lifestyles you can choose and get experience from, and then the perks in the three trees. So the first focus, which is Skullduggery focus, gives you a plus 10 agent acceptance. This is a fairly big bonus to agents joining your hostile schemes. So if you like doing hostile schemes, it's a really good way to get your agents to accept and join. So it makes it easier for you to be successful and means you have to spend less money on them. It also gives you the biggest bonus to Intrigue of any of the three focuses, with a plus 3 to Intrigue, and Intrigue obviously boosts your success chance and speed at all schemes and subvert operations. So this is a big buff, and if you want high Intrigue, this is the perk to take. Like all of them, it gives you a flat amount of Intrigue experience per month. Next up is Temptation focus. This focuses on seduction and desire, so it gives you 20% fertility, obviously, so 20% more fertile, so more children, bigger line. I don't tend to find this that useful because I think most people are fairly fertile, but if you want loads and loads of children, you can go for it. Plus 10 attraction opinion. Attraction is how attracted people are to you, so the chances of seduction, and it also affects like marriage and spousal acceptance as well. So it's not bad, although plus 10 is not a huge modifier. Seduce scheme power. Scheme power, unlike the name suggests, is actually the speed of the scheme, not the success chance. But it does mean that your seduction schemes will happen 20% faster, so if you like seducing people, it means you have more chance to do that in your lifetime, and then obviously the 25 experience a month. At the bottom we have intimidation focus. This is my favourite one here, which is the focus on dread and threats, playing kind of an absolutist monarch. With plus 2 intrigue, so not as big as Skullduggery, but still a fairly big boost to your intrigue. 30 natural dread, which gives you a huge boost of nearly a third of your entire dread pool, so people will be more scared of you, and dread essentially means that your vassals are less likely to rebel against you, they're more likely to agree to laws you pass, etc, etc. People who are terrified of you are less likely to become a problem, so it's a very good way of keeping your vassals in line. And it also has a 25 intrigue experience a month. Now, looking at the three trees, we'll start with Schema, which is the one that matches up with Skullduggery, so this is to do with schemes and secrets. It has one of the best perks in the game at the top, which is Truth is Relative. This allows you to fabricate hooks on people. This means that you could just make up something about somebody with a scheme, a hostile scheme, and then use that hook for whatever you want. You can blackmail them, you can force them to do something, you can get money for them if you have the Golden Obligations perk in the Stewardship tree. It's just a very, very good perk, and because it's right at the top, you can grab it even if you're not an intrigue-focused ruler. Just pop to Intrigue for 5 years, grab Truth is Relative. Fairly amazing perk to pick up, I find. Going down the left side here, we have Digging for Dirt. 25% faster speed for Find Secrets. So Find Secrets is something your Spy Master can do. They go into an enemy court, they try and discover various secrets about the people there. Can give you hooks and so on. This just means it happens 25% faster, so if he's failing or there's nothing in there, there's more chance that you can start a new one and actually get something out of it, although I don't find Secrets that useful. This one is okay. It enables the Abduct scheme, so this allows you to scheme and try and abduct somebody and steal them and place them in your custody. And whilst it's a cool concept, what I do find with the Abduct scheme is anybody you would actually want to abduct, like the child of a powerful vassal or of a monarch, or, you know, like an enemy monarch or something, is very, very difficult to abduct. And the only people who are easy to abduct are people who you don't really need to abduct, like peasants and court members, weaker vassals and weak family members, etc. But if you like playing a kind of kidnappy style playthrough, you will need this perk. So then going down the middle, we have Court of Shadows. This affects the other thing that your Spy Master can do, which is disrupt schemes. So this disrupts enemy schemes in your court, so it slows down enemy Find Secrets, and it also makes their hostile schemes against people in your court less successful, and this makes it 50% more effective, which is a huge bonus to staying alive. Prepared for Anything, another great one if you feel like you're in danger if loads of people hate you. It gives them a minus 25% success chance on any hostile scheme against you, so that's murder, kidnap, anything like that. They won't be able to do it nearly as easily because they've got a minus 25% success chance, which is huge. There's also a -10 just success chance against your courtiers, so your entire court is safer if you get this perk. This middle tree is fairly good if you feel like you're in danger. The right-hand tree here with Swift Execution is pretty good if you like murdering people, which is obviously a big thing with Intrigue. This makes murder schemes happen 30% faster, which is obviously really big because you can just get more of them done, which you want to do because murder schemes usually take 2 or 3 years to fully come to fruition. A job done right, all hostile schemes, so this is Seduce, this is Kidnap, this is Murder, this is Fabricate, Hook, all of them have a plus 25% success chance, so they're 25% more likely to succeed, which is huge, and means that you probably won't have to put an agent on nearly as many of them, which will save you a lot of money in the long run. So if you think you're going to do lots of hostile schemes, go for a job done right as early as you can. Whilst the left-hand tree I don't think is amazing, you will want to fill out this tree if you're going for Intrigue, because the twice schemed perk at the bottom is amazing. It gives you just another hostile scheme, so you can have 2 hostile schemes going on at once. So this is Murder, this is Abduct, this is Seduce, you can do all of that, but you can do 2 of them rather than 1 at once, which is an amazingly speedy way of actually just expanding your intrigue and your murders, etc. It ends here with the Schemer perk, fairly decent perk, giving you another 25% power to hostile schemes, so they happen really, really fast. Combined with Swift Execution, that's a 50% speed increase to murder schemes, and if you have 2 going on at once, you can actually murder a lot of people in your reign, which is pretty big if that's the kind of playstyle you're going for. Also gives you +5 Intrigue, which combined with Skullduggery Focus is a +8 boost to your Intrigue, which is absolutely gargantuan. So it's a very good perk. So the left-hand tree, Schemer, very good tree to fill out. The middle tree here, Seducer, one of the worst trees in the game I think, but we will go through it nonetheless, is to do with Seduction and the Seduce scheme. The left-hand tree here, even worse than just the whole tree itself, gives you 30% more fertility, which combined with Temptation Focus is 50% fertility. You do not need this. The problem is that in your lifetime you're only going to have time to fill out 3 or 4 full trees if you live to like 80 or 90, which is very old in this game. And spending a perk point on 50% or on a fertility bonus just isn't a good use of time or energy, because you are probably going to be fertile, so unless you have fertile issues and you have no way to continue your line, this perk is useless, really. Unshackled Lust, another quite pointless perk I find. Intent, obviously, is if you go to an event, you can seduce people without any kind of downside. This is fine if you like seducing people. And any attraction penalty you might have, so if you have a particular condition or there's something about you that people don't like, it will remove that if it's an attraction-based penalty, so it makes seduce schemes more successful. Subtle Desire is slightly better. It removes the rank difference from seduce schemes, which is normally the problem with seduce schemes, is that you might be a baron or a duke, and you're trying to seduce a queen or an empress, and the rank difference means that she's never going to accept. Well, this removes that penalty, so you're much more likely to be able to succeed. However, it does also remove the incestuous penalty, which means you can seduce members of your family who are over the age of 19 without any kind of penalty, which is a bit weird, but if you're going for that kind of pure bloodline Habsburg style game through, then I suppose this is a useful perk. Mortal Adoration, I have only used this perk a couple of times and it's never done anything for me, but it supposedly does. Your lovers are less likely to join murder schemes, fairly standard. Your lovers are no longer going to try and kill you, fine, but this bottom bit is an interesting one. If somebody tries to murder you, your lovers could save you. I have never seen this work, but it is there, so it might work, and so it is a possible way of defending yourself. However, I just think this middle tree here is much better for doing that. The right-hand tree on Seducer, slightly better, but still not great. Enticing Opportunity, 30% bonus speed to your seduction scheme, fairly standard, not a lot to really explain there. Home Advantage, huge bonus to seduction success chance against courtiers and guests. And whilst I think this is fine, I don't really see the point, because unless you're seducing somebody just for fun, you are going to tend to try and seduce people who are higher rank than you, and they will not be your courtiers or guests. So the success chance bonus there isn't that impressive, really. Graceful Recovery, critical failure obviously means that you can't really do it again against that person if it critically fails, and there are other penalties that can occur. It means you can no longer critically fail them. That doesn't happen overly often, but if you're going for really high ranking people and you've not got Subtle Desire, then you might want Graceful Recovery, but then it's at the same point, so Yeah. Smooth Operator is actually okay, but because it's so far down, I wouldn't recommend going for it. Gives you a 25% flat bonus to seduction success chance, which does include people of higher rank than you, etc., which is all pretty good. And also a bonus language, which has diplomacy and learning bonuses as well. So it's not awful. The tree ends with the Seducer perk. I don't rate this perk. It's not bad, it's just quite dull. Plus 3 intrigue, it's fine, but you get that from Skullduggery focus. Plus 20% fertility, you don't need more fertility. If you completed this tree, you will have 50% fertility already, bonus. You do not need another 20%, it's just not a useful thing. But you will be very fertile, I suppose, with 70% bonus fertility. And also plus 40 attraction, so anybody who is of the same sexual orientation as you will be a hell of a lot more attracted to you, which I suppose is good if you're going for high-ranking marriages and stuff, but the thing is, by the time you finish this tree, you'd really want to already be pumping out some children, so it's not that good, really. Final tree here is if you want to play a really sadistic evil ruler. It's the Torturer tree. It focuses on dread and evil deeds, but it does have some very good perks within it. So, going down the left side here first, we have Dark Insights. Gives you a 50% chance to get an intrigue or a prowess whenever you talk to someone, which means if you talk to 20 people, you should get 5 intrigue and 5 prowess, which is a huge bonus to both stats. So it's a very nice way. If you're going to talk to people anyway, for whatever reason, pick up this perk because it gives you big stat bonuses for it. Divine Retribution, pretty much essential if you're playing a Catholic ruler. Other religions, not so much, but if you're playing a Catholic ruler, you do not use piety or clergy opinion if you torture or execute people. This is pretty much essential for Catholic rulers, as I say, because you will plummet and turn into a very sinful person if you start executing and torturing people who aren't of an opposing faith, which oftentimes you're fighting within Europe. They're not going to be, and so you are going to need this perk. Dreadful. Very good way of maintaining your dread. It's 30% dread gain, which is huge. Dread, obviously, as we explained earlier, is to do with how scary you are. People are going to be terrified and fearful of you, less likely to rebel, etc. And this just means you get 30% more dread from all of the actions that would generate it. These are acts such as torture or murder or execution, which will bonus your dread by 30%. Thriving in Chaos, a very good perk, because oftentimes your ruler is going to be stressed, especially if they're executing a lot of people. Gives you plus 4 martial, plus 4 intrigue, and plus 6 prowess per stress level, which means that without dying at stress level 3, you can have 8 martial, 8 intrigue, and 12 prowess, which is huge stat bonuses. You can really boost your stats massively with this perk. You just have to be careful with your stress level. Malice Implicit, very, very solid perk, especially if you're going to play a Tyrant. Essentially, Tyranny is a flat stat that you will have. It's an opinion modifier. People will either like you or dislike you, and Tyranny is a huge dislikey stat modifier because the more evil things you do, the more your tyranny score will go up. And every tyranny you have means you get half a dread. So you get 50 tyranny, that's 25 dread, which is a quarter of your dread limit, which combined with your natural 30 dread from intimidation, that's half your dread already full. A lot of people are already going to be terrified of you, which is really, really good if you're going to play an evil tyrannical ruler. Fear Tax, a brilliant perk if you have high dread, which obviously you're going for with this tree. 15% intimidated vassal tax and levy contribution, and 30% terrified vassal tax and levy contribution. Humongous bonuses, especially if you are a ruler of a big empire. These are massive bonuses, and all they have to do is be scared of you, which most of them will be if you have 70 or 80 dread or higher. And this can only really go up, which is just brilliant. Forever Infamous, pretty much essential if you're playing a tyrannical ruler. It just stops your dread decaying, because your dread will decay over time if you don't do evil things. This just stops it. Minus 1000% decay. It's never going to decay in your lifetime, so it's going to remain high. People are going to remain scared of you, and because you have fear tax, people are going to remain paying more to you and giving you more troops. Also unlocks the murder feast option, which is a feast where you can just murder everyone. Very sadistic, but will boost your dread and tyranny, etc. So not a bad choice. Prison Feudal Complex, probably the worst perk in this tree. It's not awful, it's just not amazing. Gives you a plus 50% imprison chance. Imprison chance, obviously, when you're imprisoning somebody, they have to be within your realm, and normally it'll be like 20 or 40% because they're going to try and run away or escape. This just makes it a lot more likely to be able to imprison them. If you aren't a fan of fighting civil wars or interwars against your vassals, then this is a pretty important perk. I find it really easy just to try and imprison them. If they don't get imprisoned and they attack you, you just subdue them and you imprison them anyway, and you probably get more money out of it. But if you like imprisoning people, this perk's good, and you'll want to get it anyway to pick up the Torturer perk. Another brilliant perk for tyrannical rulers. giving you 4 prowess, so a big bonus to physical stat. 50% dread gain, which combined with dreadful gives you 80% bonus dread gain, so you're nearly getting double dread from all evil actions. 25% resistance. This is kind of unrated to the tree, but it does mean that you slow down hostile schemes by 25%, so they happen 25% more slowly, which is brilliant, obviously. And just a flat 10% levy size. This isn't massive if you're a small kingdom, but if you're big and have thousands of troops, this gives you extra thousands of troops. 10% is a big amount, especially if you have a large amount of troops, so this is a good scaling perk to have if you are a very powerful ruler. And so there you have it. The intrigue trees and lifestyle focuses explained and kind of rated on their quality and whether or not you should take them. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you very, very much for watching. Feel free to like and or subscribe, it really would mean the world to me. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, folks.